Now you've got this, and you're doing this now for quite some time. Now, and were there any special events that are happening that brought the idea of getting the band, the Renaissance Band, back together?
Well, we did do. We got together in 2001, and we decided just to do a tour of Japan. We did a recording called Tuscany.
Yes.
And we decided to do a few shows, and we did one in London, a warm-up show in London, and three or four shows in Japan. Yeah, so we did that, and then that was 2001, and between 2001 and 2008, I kept getting these requests, let's get the band back together. No. And then 2008, Michael Dunford called me up, and he said, Annie, I said, no. Before he said anything.
Before you knew that was going to be the...
I knew exactly what he was going to say. Yeah. And I said, look, the only way I'll do this is if John Scher, who was our manager in the 70s, that we all loved would become involved. And I didn't think there was any chance whatsoever that he... And so I just didn't think any more of it. So I thought, good, I'm off the hook. And Michael rang me back and said, John's interested. I thought, oh, no. So John Scher said yes, and then all the original band members said yes, but it didn't work out with the other guys in the end. And so when it didn't work out with the other three, and it was just down to Michael and myself and using other musicians, and of course I knew in my head it would be people from my band because they play the Renaissance things, and also, Rave Tessar was an obvious choice because he's a brilliant keyboard player.
Mm-hmm.
So we told John that it didn't look like it was going to be the five of us in the end, and was he willing to take the chance? And we didn't think he would, but I think I'd kind of built up some kind of momentum over the years with my solo band and kept the flag flying to keep the fans interested.
Interested, sure.
Yeah. So he said, no, let's go for it, because he obviously did some homework and found out that what I'd done, particularly in Philadelphia. I'd done some great shows on my own at the Keswick Theatre, and so we forged ahead, and that's when we had the 2009 anniversary tour.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then the next year we toured with Steve Hackett, which was a great combination, great band. Particularly on that tour, we introduced a new song called "The Mystic and the Muse" that people can actually hear on our website. Website is renaissancetouring.com. And we got a standing ovation nearly every night we did it.
That's wonderful.
So that was a great, that was a really good shot in the arm.
Oh, sure.
That we were going in the right direction.
No question.
And then we changed management, and from then on, we've got we did the Kickstarter campaign to raise funds for this new album, which was fantastic. It just shows how many wonderful fans that we've got out there that have supported us. And we've been working on this for three and a half months now, and just in the final mixing stages. It always takes a lot longer than you ever think it's going to.
Wow.
It's very difficult to put a time on something, because if something goes wrong or somebody's sick or you have to cancel a few days, it puts everything out of whack.
Yeah, I would imagine the editing and mixing process is rather tedious and very time-consuming.
Yeah, it is.
Now, last autumn, I know I had the privilege of taking in a performance by yourself and the band, and that was at the Keswick Theatre that you mentioned earlier. Now, you and the band performed 2 albums in their entirety.
Yes.
Now, I see that as being a trend happening more and more with several other bands. Is this easier to undertake as opposed to going through, let's say, your entire catalog and picking and choosing songs?
I don't think it's any easier or not. I think when the idea was put to us by our agent, Wayne Forte, we thought, oh, okay, so that means we're going to be doing a couple of songs that we've never done live.
I was going to say, you probably,
It was interesting. Plus, the fact that we had to say to the guys in the band, can you learn Scheherazade, a song of Scheherazade? It's such a huge amount of work. And they did an amazing job. I mean, good Lord.
The performance that I had taken in last autumn was absolutely wonderful, and it was actually surpassed my expectations. It was wonderful. Now, you've also done numerous guest vocals with artists such as Steve Howe, John Wenton, and Jeff Downs. Now, you also did a collaboration with the group Magenta, right?
Yes, I did.
Tell us the story.
It was, I think Christina got in touch with me first. I think the first time she got in touch with me when she bought a painting from my website.
Right.
And then we started a dialogue, and then she said that they'd written this song about a dream that she'd had about this Native American Indian. That's when I did the painting for the artwork for the cover, and it just came out so well. And yeah, they're a great band.
I've played the song. I have the EP with that tune. I've played that song on the show. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, the band is going to be touring again, correct?
Yes.
And the new album is coming out. Do you have like an approximate idea when that'll be happening? The new album?
We're hoping to shoot for February. So it's very special. We have a couple of very special guests on there that I can't tell you about, I'm afraid.
We will be so looking forward to that and waiting for that with bated breath, that's for sure.
But we also have the DVD out of, and CDs of the Keswick show.
Yes, I am in possession of one of those myself as well.
You can get that on Amazon.com.
Now, what's on the horizon, beyond the album and the tour? What is on the horizon? What's down the road for Annie Haslam?
I shall carry on with my art because I love it with a passion. I don't know if you know, but I have a guitar in the Martin Museum in Nazareth. I painted a guitar for them. They commissioned me. And I actually do paint electric violins for Mark Wood. Mark Wood's violins. He's out on Long Island. He was in Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Brilliant violinist.
That's wonderful.
And so, I think I've done about 8 or 10 for them. I'm doing pet portraits, which people are they're just starting to catch on, which is fantastic because I love doing it. I've got some of those on my Facebook page that people can see. Tell us
some information, like if people want to view your artwork and if they're interested in purchasing, where would they need to go to do that on the web?
They go to anniehaslam.com and go to the art gallery. There's some for sale on there, and I love to do commissions more than anything, actually, because if I'm doing something for a person or a pet, I really feel that I channel into them and just get to the essence of the person or the pet.
That's special.
And they can see some of my the pets that I've painted on my website and also on my Facebook page, which is Annie Haslam Art.
Beautiful.
And Renaissance Touring is the Renaissance Touring Facebook page.
Excellent. I was going to ask you about that as well. Terrific. Yeah. So there's lots of things down the road here, and we've got an album coming out sometime within the next several months.
Yes.
There'll be probably a tour behind that, I would presume.
Yes, definitely.
And we've got the artwork, so we've got a full schedule of things going on for Ms. Annie Haslam.
I know.
That's for sure.
Stops.
This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
Annie, I want to thank you very much for the time you spent with us, myself and my listeners this morning. It was a great pleasure to speak with you and get some of the history behind your life, how you've progressed into this wonderful area of music and how you've had this wonderful career with the Band of Renaissance, a solo career, an artist. You're a multitasking individual as we go forward here.
I think everybody on the planet's multitasking now.
I think you have to be to survive these days. Exactly. Well, thank you once again. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us. And again, we were speaking this morning with Annie Haslam, the heart and soul and voice of the band Renaissance. We'll be looking for the new album sometime in the early part of 2013, Annie.
Yes, it's called Grandine Il Vento.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. We'll be speaking down the road.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.